There's 2 furlongs, slightly downhill all the way to the start. The first of 30 fences, it's 4 foot 6 inches tall, and 36 have departed at this fence in the last 10 years. It's an average of 3.6 fallers, and it performed exactly to type. We lost 3 at the first fence. Arctic Jack fell, Luskadoo fell, and Kalami was brought down.
But the biggest point here is most of the jocks, boys, lining up towards middle to outer.
That's right, they're all aware that Beaches is catching them on the inner, but let's just watch them. Norman just going over here.
Yes, Al Capone bang up there, and also Hedge Hunter, who ran such a cracking race, and
Kalami was brought down, I think, by Luskadoo, you know.
Yeah, he was brought down by Luskadoo's fall ahead of him, and he, of course, is in the same colours as the winner, Amberley House.
Amazing result. Won at the first and then he wins it. But just looking at this photograph in the fence there, you can see some of them really standing up because they're going fast.
Yeah, there's David's lad just going over out the back there.
And it's speed that brings them down, isn't it? Because they over-jump.
It's always the best angle. You'll see a whole lot of them, their noses on the floor. Look there, that jockey.
It is speed that
right out of the thing, blowing wind going over there.
There goes Luskadoo falling, and it's his fall that brings down Kalami. Always the fence that claims the most horses. Usually this is always the fence that claims the most horses. This is one last view of the first.
This is Alexander Banquet on the inside. He's jumped it well. That's bounced back on the inside, just nodding a little bit. And there's Clan Royal already beginning to take a big...
And there you can see Kalami brought down just there, brought down by the fall of Luskadoo. Here we go, head on to the second fence, 4 foot 7 inches, and it tends to be... It's relatively unusual to have a faller here, and again, it performed to type, no fallers.
Yeah, they go racing on to the first big test now, the ditch, and here we lose Shadami.
Yeah, Shardam unseated his rider, your son top board.
Just wanted to see what happens. Goes 1, 2, 3, just jumps into the fence, doesn't he, and shoots him out over his head.
They gave him no chance whatsoever, Skill. He won't be... That wasn't his fault.
But isn't it a big disappointment to go so soon in a race? All you want to do is for it to stop and start again.
Yes, but that's the, it's the nature of the game, isn't it? They're there to be jumped, and
as Royal Caltals are coming through, and the eventual winner is actually towards the rear for that particular race.
Yeah, there he is at the back. We can see Graham was saying he had a bad run. I can't see that he's having much trouble yet.
Fence number 4, and we have Juranson leaves us at fence number 4. There he is in the foreground of the shot. Tony McCoy catapulted to the ground.
But he nearly brought down the eventual winner.
Amberley House
had to go
very, very clever there, wasn't he? He did a sidestep right-handed. All the horses are okay, so that's good news.
Excellent news.
Let's hope all the jockeys are as well.
Heading on to fence 5, we lost Juranson at the previous fence, but no fallers at fence 5. And again, very good. There is Amberley House jumping at the back on the outside. Just in shot. You can see his little white noseband just slightly in shot, but at this point Al Capone is leading, Alexander Banquet is on the inside, and they're heading towards Beaches.
And Gunnar Wellburn's well up there too, having a good ride.
Pontal of Martin Pipes, who was a 2-miler novice, ran an absolute cracker just in behind Al Capone. Hedge Hunter ran just a little bit keen, and I believe this is Beaches.
That's Accurus who goes first, isn't it?
Yeah, we lose 9. We lose 9 at this particular fence. In fact, What's Up Down Boys is brought down. Accurus falls. Montreal hits the deck. Bindery also hits the deck. Bramble Hill Duke falls. Accurus falls. Bounce Back also falls. Blowing Wind refuses. Skycab falls, and Montreal falls. So Beaches Brook claims its typical number of horses at that fence.
But the thing that started it off, Accurus actually tried to refuse, you know.
Did he?
Yeah, he's just towards the left of the picture in the diamonds, yellow and blue.
There's Amberley House on the back. Well, let's roll and let's see how they all go over it.
Alexander Banquet on the right-hand side, going the very shortest way round.
That's Gunnar Wellborn in the sheepskin noseband.
And Al Capone is just...
Accurus gets blinded there, doesn't he? The loose horse goes across him, gives him absolutely no chance, and then starts the carnage, really, doesn't it?
The other one unseated, I believe, was Bramble Hill Duke, right at the back. Horse ran straight across.
And old Blowing Wind, look, has said, I don't want to do this.
He's had enough. He's been third twice. He was 8 last year, and this time he didn't want to go any further. And there is Amberley House in the noseband, not the one nearest your screen, the one just leaving the screen now with the black and red and white colours.
And you watch, if we get the angle here, you can see Amberley House. He lands very, very slowly from this fence because of all the carnage on the inside. There he is. Look at there. He more or less trots away from the fence, as Graham said.
Knocks them down on their nose at that fence.
Skycab's jockey there gets out of the way very, very quickly.
And also Carlowell, obviously he was fancying his chances with Bindery, and as you said,
That's
earlier,
Richard Johnson.
he's made mistakes at Beechers before, and this year claimed him.
Exodus, he actually was brought down at Becher's Brook, the 6th fence, but this is fence 7, Foynhaven, and 4'6" fence, and only 5 horses have gone here in the last 10 years, and today it doesn't claim anyone at all.
And the reason it does claim horses is because it's the smallest fence on the course after Becher's Brook. It comes as a big surprise.
Al Capone in front, he's jumped super. He's given a lead to Hedge Hunter, who was running keen. Gunnar Wellburn, Lord Attenbury ran a smashing race. There's all Smarty, he ran a cracker. Bear on board. Exit to Wave just going through. David Slad is alongside the winner, Travelling Super, Amberley House.
Royal Atals was the last one going through the shot, and you see that no horses were claimed at the Canal Turn.
Already Joss Naylor, one of the co-favourites, is struggling at the back. Here we got the Canal Turn. They jump this superbly well, don't they?
Hedge Hunter is the one that really rushes up here to join Al Capone in front. Puntal is still prominent. Lord Atterbury is also prominent.
Alexander Banquet was the one who nearly unseated his rider there.
There goes Amberley House, the winner through the shot there in the white noseband in front of you, almost in the centre of your screen.
Now, they jumped this fence as it should be jumped, Norman.
Yes, the lads rode it very, very clever here. Hedge Hunter just ran keen and ran off the bend a little bit. Now you see Alexander Banquet very nearly went down the inner. To Kaji with the blinkers, just jumping on the inner there is close. There's Joss Naylor bang down the inner, Paul Carberry. David Slad just wide of him, following the winner, Amberley House. They're just beginning to creep a little closer, Graham Lee and the winner.
Now we can have a jockey's eye view of this. This is from Tony Dobbin on Gunnar Wellburn. Horse is pulled up later on in the course, but now we can see them heading towards, and you can see that angle to try and get to that perpendicular left-hand turn, Norman. You can see the jockeys in front trying to get the best way to
as
jump.
As close as you can, you want to be rubbing your boot off the wide rail on the left. And you really could Puntel, and he's only a small horse, jumping brilliant upsides on the right, but you could lose 10 links at that bend if you went straight on.
But you
This
could
is
always win a
Valentine's.
national.
This is Valentine's coming up and heading towards that race. That fence, Exit to Wave, was pulled up prior to Valentine's, but the fence itself didn't actually claim anyone, and Hedge Hunter led at that point.
He's putting in a tremendous round, this horse. Willie Mullins sold him to Trevor Hemmings only a year ago, and I should think he was very pleased with the way he's going.
There's last year's winner, Monty Pass, just going through your screen. The winner just coming through at the back of the screen there.
That was fence 10, and there were no fallers at that fence either. There was only claimed 3 horses in the past 10 years, so quite a quiet fence as usual. Back to Hedge Hunter in the lead and heading towards the 11th there.
And this second time round catches horses out because they're tired, but you can see a loose horse in the ditch there, but he's okay. Here's the winner.
It only catches a loose horse in this case. There is Amberley House, just underneath our caption on the left-hand side of the screen. That is where the winner has to come from, all the way back there, but there are no fallers at that fence.
Well, let's take another shot from this side then, and you can see that there is plenty of height there, Stu, because they've got a stretch to get over the fence.
That's right, yes.
Wonder Weasel going through, very, very lucky to stand up. He gave it a right clout. There's Joss Naylor now, he's struggling from that point.
He'd been struggling for some way, really, hadn't he? He'd never really got into the race at all.
Some of these horses just don't take to the fences, and he was one of them. But the ones up here in front are really beginning to thing, and that's Lord Attenbury this side. He gave Mark Bradman a fabulous ride.
There are no fallers at this particular fence. Again, it's quite a quiet fence, but Al Capone did make a blunder up front.
The other horse that I keep seeing in the picture that interested me, was going very well when he fed, was Le Coudray. Even with his big weight, you'll see him in the middle of the pack there somewhere, and he's been jumping very well and travelling very well.
And the reason he wasn't up there is because of the weight. They wanted to give him the chance to get home. But they now start to steady up, They'd gone a good gallop, they were spread out, and now as they come onto the racecourse proper again, as we call it, they consciously slow the pace.
Yes, David Casey in front, he'd have been very, very worried. Hedge Hunter running too keen, and he'd be anxious to pull it up. But we'll notice after this fence the loose horses begin to take him on, which didn't help. But he's going along at his own pace. Puntal's second, Lord Attenbury just behind him. Al Capone ran a cracker just in behind him. Then you've Gunnar Wellburn and Alexander Banquet. But sure, we get the other shot. We'll see Graham Lee on the winner just creeping close.
There's horses past the last year's winner at the tail of the leading group. There were no fallers at fence 13. And there were none at 14 either. As we gallop on, again, it's a relatively quiet fence.
But the big worry here is going to the chair, loose horses are everywhere.
There, just on the edge of your picture, is the eventual winner, Amberley House. Still a long way back, Norman, and Ginger McCain was concerned that he was in fact too far back, wasn't he?
Yeah, but they went a really good gallop up front, and they didn't stop till the elbow, but they did stop, which he was very lucky. But this is the chair, horse in front puts himself right, absolutely perfect. Al Capone stood a mile off it, hit it very hard. We'll get a better shot of that in a minute. That's Takagi going. Davy Russell out over his head. I'm sorry, Davy, but you're unseated.
Yeah, definite unseating. Unseating at the chair.
You're a very hard man, Norman. Here's another view of it. You can just see them getting in closer. There's Hedgehog.
Now you'll watch Al Capone where he stands off. There you go. Very lucky to get it out to the other side. Here we'll see Takagi coming now. There you go. He's the far side. Dropped his back end. It wasn't even unseated. There's no possible way he could have stayed on. But thankfully, I believe he's back in the weigh room smiling, so that's good news. That's Just Naylor just going through. Very lucky to stand up also.
Well, you mentioned your criticism of David Russell, your fact that you thought he was unseated. He gets the chance to answer back in a moment. As soon as we just have a last look, there's Hedgehunter going over, Puntal, also Lord Atterbury. There goes Al Capone making a little bit of a blunder. Gunnar Wellborn coming over, Alexander Banquet on the inside.
And just look to the left of the picture now, you'll see Monty's Pass. There's the foyer, you won't get back from that. But Monty's Pass has been coming quietly. What did Davey think of that, I wonder?
The water now, the smallest fence on the course, and you won't catch me riding over even this one, I have to tell you. We get no fallers at this particular fence yet again, but Clan Royal steals up and makes some significant progress.
But the mindset at this point is, I've survived one round. OK, now we'll start playing jockeys. Will we conserve stamina? Will we kick on? These are the decisions.
Yeah, and when to me, I think, Norman, didn't they? When they went round this bend, they conserved energy. The jockey of David Casey and Hedgehunter eased up and tried to get some wind in the horse's lungs. They've known they've gone a good gallop. Clan Royal is come right up there as well. Liam Cooper doesn't want to be. They know they've gone too quick, don't they?
Yes, they know they've gone too quick, and like Richard said, this is when you begin to enjoy it, and really, you know, it's now a Grand National, and you start to look around and see where your pals are or whatever else. But heading out on the second circuit, David Casey really has to make a conscious decision to pull up in front and try and get the trip.
But just prior to that fence, Mantle's Prince was pulled up. So Mantle's Prince doesn't set out for a second circuit. But they're heading for the second circuit, heading back to the first fence where they began, Richard.
Yes, and Hedgehunter who put in a magnificent round, both standing off when he met fences on long strides and being able to get in close. You would almost guarantee at this point that he would get home.
Yes, the only thing I think the jockeys here, they would... I mean, David Casey would love to be left alone in front now, wouldn't he? But they're just taking each other on again, aren't they?
Yeah, taking each other on, and also the loose horses weren't helping him, just rushing him a little. Because he slowed down, Clan Royal, obviously, we'll see in a minute, just running too keen, right behind him. And Amberley House, he's just at the back of your picture, just beginning to creep a little bit closer.
That little loose horse is Bounce Back, who falls, which is a very unusual thing for a loose horse to fall.
There goes Alexander Banquet falling there on the inside at the back, and also before that fence 18, Southern Star was also pulled up. So Alexander Banquet was the one that we lost there. This is fence 19.
Puntal went absolutely, well, he did unseat, but had no chance of staying on him either. Got a horrible fall, Puntal.
But the big change, sorry Lee, the big change is that Clan Royal is now actually running away and getting there quicker than he needs to.
Yeah,
and Liam Cooper, he's running there, and he's having to give him a kick at his fences, isn't he? Because you just can't sit still here. And there's Puntal going.
There goes Puntal and seating Danny Howard.
Let's hope he's okay.
Also pulled up before that particular fence was Joss Naylor. We saw him jumping the water in virtually last place, and he does pull up just before this fence.
Well, Talza starting to get in it. He'd been tailed off early and just starting to creep there for the charity that Terry Ramsden was. Oh, that is a big jump from Hedgehog.
Fantastic jumping.
That's
Al Capone just put him down a bit. There's the winner, Amberley House, creeping into the race, and just behind him is Le Coudray, as I say. I felt he was going very well when he got rid of his rider. They parted company at Becher's.
And just going up to the 20th, Gunnar Wellborn was pulled up. Last year's 4th was pulled up heading towards the 20th fence. This is the 21st, and there are no fallers at the 21st. And again, it's very, very few horses do tend to go here at this stage in the race. They're just sort of settling down. They can see things much more clearly.
There's a big jump from the horse in the middle here, Clan Royal. He sort of really gets there into the race.
But as I say with Liam, you know, he's holding him back, but when he gets to a fence, he has to kick and make him jump. Look,
now what's the third
there.
place? What's the third place horse in the blue colours? Lord Atterbury makes big mistake here. Down on his nose, good recovery. But we also lose Le Coudray.
That's Le Coudray. There he goes. Conor Dwyer shot straight out over his head, but I would have to put that down as a fall rather than a seat. And just got in too close.
Can I tell you something interesting? The loose horse fell again. That's the third time that Bounce Back's fallen in the same race.
I won't take the red in him next year, Richard. Don't worry about that.
No, I couldn't have Le Coudray as unseated unless you're asking a horse to roll over, and you know that's fallen, isn't it?
Right, I think we would definitely say so. And fall for Le Coudray, not unseated. Nobody else need lynch me with that particular call.
His stomach was on the ground at one time. Anyway, the horses.
There's Becher's Brook. 12 fallers in the last 10 years at this fence. Second time round, that's a 1.2 average, which compares pretty similarly to the first time round.
Here's Le Coudray, look.
Just the drop caught him out, and he left half a leg out at the fence, and down he goes.
More jockeys tend to be unseated than fallen.
But interesting, isn't it, to see how jockeys are looking carefully and quite controlled to look where others are going from instead of lying there waiting for the bomb.
Here's another angle. Obviously, because of the angle of the fence, they're going to run down it a little bit. There's the winner at the back there. We'll be able to watch him.
The white sheepskin with the white noseband.
He's to the left of the marker there as we look at the picture.
I'm sorry, Stu, but I think that's David's lad.
Yeah.
The winner is right in the middle of the picture with the white breast skirt and white noseband. And Hedge Hunter in front, Clanroy, Lord Attenbury, Bear on board, and there's the winner you can see right in the middle. And Monty's Pass creeping closer down the inner with another white noseband. He ran an absolute cracking race.
But let's just see how they just start to drift as we look at it right-handed, they're left-handed. It's something that happens because the course bends that way.
That's right. There is here we've got Monty's Pass coming over now. He's been put perfectly.
Bear on board.
Yeah, there's Le Coudray gone. Smarty, he knows his way around here.
We keep showing Conor Dwyer this particular fall. He doesn't want to see it again, I don't think.
It's the Bunny Boiler, the last horse to jump it.
Yep. And look, Conor looking back and thinking what might have been.
This is fence 23. We leave Becher's finally, Conor. We head towards fence 23, Foynaven for the second time, and here we lose Justin Dett further down the field. He's going to come through any moment.
The Talza just coming through. Let's have another look then. See if we can pick him up. Hedge Hunter on the inside, turning all the time. Clan Royal next to him.
Bear on board going through there. Last year's winners. Monty's Pass also jumping there. There's the winner creeping forward. And the horse for the way. Well, let's just have a look at the fall of Justin Dett. He's just coming up now.
He'd almost fallen in mid-air.
Yeah.
Did he get knocked? He looked as if the horse behind him sort of knocked him out of the way.
Like the horse had nowhere to jump to.
Now, what people must really look for at the Canal Turn is two different ways of jockeys jumping this, and in the end, it's Liam Cooper on Clan Royal who takes a different route, who comes out best.
That's right. He doesn't take it quite as sharp and fiddles it a little bit more, and for that he's able to turn sharp on the inside of Hedge Hunter.
But Lord Atterbury makes another mistake. He's been making little mistakes all the way round, and Mark Bradburn does well to sit.
Just getting a little bit low, but also Mark Bradburn rode the Canal Turn absolutely brilliant. He turned it real quick.
And this gives us a better look at it, doesn't it? Now see how they change positions here. Hedge Hunter on the inner, but as they come out landing, the way Cooper's gone, look, up through the middle.
And there goes the winner, jumping through in sixth place. Bear on board in fourth position at that point. Monty's Pass is also with them. This is the last view of the Canal Turn, that left perpendicular turn. There again, you see the recovery of Mark Bradburn as he just brushes through the top on Lord Atterbury.
But Graham Lee, has got 15 lengths to make up there.
Quite a long way back, but the horses in front, as we said, they've been racing one another, and it's a long way from home here.
And fence 25, Valentine's second time round, we lose Al Capone. He's pulled up before this particular fence. This is the 26th now. Good recovery from Liam Cooper on Clan Royal there, Norman.
Absolutely, he was very, very lucky. Liam gave him a squeeze and said, come up, and he said, no thanks, and he did miracles to find the leg.
Lord Atterbury also made a small mistake, but we didn't lose any there. This is the last ditch that we see. And another small mistake by Lord Atterbury, but no fallers.
Yeah, he keeps just brushing through. It must have cost him a lot of energy, Lord Atterbury, isn't it? I mean, that's the last 3 or 4 fences we've seen. He's made a mistake. And you just feel, didn't the three of us just felt, coming to the end of these fences, that these horses were tired. You were looking to see what was behind, what was going to come on and take them on.
That was fence 28, and Wonder Weasel is the one that pulls up before there. He got a lot further than he did last time.
Do you know what is deceptive here? Clan Royal is a very heavy-headed horse. His head is down, and it looks as if he's running away and going better than he actually is.
Yeah, and I'd say a difficult horse to ride, to be quite honest. I think Liam Cooper does a good job on him. He's a very big horse.
Has he dropped his whip?
Yes, it looks as though he had, but he ran all over the shop after the last. Lord Attenbury coming between the two, he looked like he was going to win here, and David Casey on the outside is still trying to spare a little bit with Hedge Hunter, but really the petrol hand is right down in the red.
And again, Lord Atterbury gets in close to that one, doesn't he? He keeps just losing a bit at every single one.
Do you think, Norman, that in a perfect world that Liam would not want to be in front on Clan Royal yet, but because he's taken him there, he's made the decision, I've just got to go now?
I think he just left him roll along. There wasn't a lot he could do. Now, he was very, very lucky. That's the final fence. Hedge Hunter falls, but Clan Royal very lucky. Just the winner, Amberley House, creeping into the picture on the wide outside.
Yeah, let's just...
Here's David Casey. Here's a view of David Casey. He's currently lying in third place. Mistake by Clan Royal, but there's David Casey. Tired horse, Hedge Hunter, falls at the last, and we can actually hear from him. There he is, having a good look to see where the Hedge Hunter gets.
Inside, and then Lord Atterbury next to him. He dives at that. That's a tired horse's mistake. Out goes Hedge Hunter. Now, at this stage, Norman Williamson said the third horse wins.
Yeah, I really did. Skew was shouting at the horse in front that he was going to go the wrong course. He did just go drift in the wrong direction. Difficult for Liam Cooper, big heavy-headed horse. But this is where Graham Lee wins the race. He took the direct route from the last fence to the line. Lord Attenbury coming between the two, he'd every chance, but full marks to Amberley House, as tough as nails from here to the line, and they're three very, very tired horses.
He's a very complete jockey, isn't he, Graham Lee? He's not a big man, and for that he can sit very neat and tidy in his horses. As we talk about, he's not flapping about in the horse, he's keeping him well balanced, and he's riding out well to the line.
And you know, John Hayward, who owns this, his business is only 3 miles from the racecourse. What a local win for him.
Well, what a difference a couple of days make. Claire and myself have been having emails about Graham Lee and said he should have won an English Triever and all the rest. Now he's a winner of a Grand National. He's the greatest man in entry this evening.
And did you see that he crossed himself as he crossed the line? He made the sign of the cross and he's saying, thank you very much, Lord.
16-1, number 17. Second was number 27, Clan Royal, the 10-1 co-favourite. Third was number 33, Lord Atterbury, at 40-1. Mark Bradburn was on board. Fourth, number 2, last year's winner, Monty's Pass, at 20-1 for Barry Geraghty. Fifth was Spot the Difference on Richard McGrath. Sixth was Smarty for Andrew Tinkler. Seventh was Ardent Scout for Warren Marston. Eighth was Bear on board for Robert Thornton. In ninth place was King's Mark Fitzgerald on board. Russ Geraghty was in 10th on the Durney Boiler, and he did well to persevere that long. And in last, 11th place was Timmy Murphy on Davis Lad. That's 3 less finishes than last year, but the same as 2002.